We all know that cancer usually means death, right? Well, we also know that what kills more often is the metastatic tumor, not the primary tumor. In some epithelial cancers like skin, stomach, or breast cancer, cells would have to go through an epithelial to mesenchymal transition so they can invade different organs, like the lungs, for example, where they will colonize and perhaps kill the patient. This epithelial to mesenchymal transition is a process through which epithelial cells lose their characteristics and gain mesenchymal properties so they can move faster around the body. But to better explain this, let's pretend this room is a mammary gland and we're all breast cancer cells. But we wouldn't be equals. You would be epithelial cells and I would be a mesenchymal cell. See, epithelial cells like you usually stay together in groups with tight junctions and they have round shapes, which doesn't mean you're fat. Let's just say you're compact. They also have a top-to-bottom polarity, so they can stay attached to their epithelium, which in this case would be your chairs. And this way, you wouldn't be able to move easily. I would be a mesenchymal cell because I'm separated from the group, and I have a longer shape, which doesn't mean I'm thin. I'm just not as compact as you. And I'm not attached to my epithelium because I have a front-to-back polarity, so I can move easy and fast, and maybe invade different organs. But once I get to this other organ, I would have to go through a reversible process so I can regain my epithelial characteristics and attach to my new epithelium, which I will colonize and perhaps kill the patient. In my project, I use a transforming growth factor, which is a promoter of this process, to stimulate these epithelial cancer cells. And we see how they switch to a mesenchymal type and how they move faster in vitro. But most importantly, we have seen that after stimulation, these same cells acquire stem cell characteristics like self-renewal and resistance to natural cell death and to chemotherapeutic drugs like doxorubicin. This means that there could be a link between this transition process and the acquisition of stem cell characteristics. So if we could find a target in this molecular pathway, maybe we could prevent metastasis and tumor relapse. And perhaps someday, we could save thousands of lives of breast cancer patients around the world. So there's still much to be understood in cancer research, but it looks quite promising. And I'm sure that someday we'll be talking about many different ways to cure cancer. Said this, I would just like to cite a phrase once said by Sir Winston Churchill, which could easily be applied to cancer research these days. And it says, "Now, this is not the end. It's not even the beginning of the end, but it is perhaps the end of the beginning." Thank you.